It was already morning as they reached Singapore. Taehyung has noticed Ryan being indifferent. She was silent throughout the journey, which only means that she heard what Hannah said. As soon as they reached the hotel, Subin excitedly jumped on the bed. He points at the huge bathtub in the washroom, making Taehyung chuckle and pick him up in his arms. He joked and took him near the bathtub. Vian, who was just trying her best to not shed tears, went out of the room. As soon as she did, tears rolled down her cheeks. She leaned her head on the wall, silently sobbing and letting the insecurities take over her. Soon she heard her phone ring. She took it out of her pocket and saw it was her grandma, the owner of her orphanage where she spent her childhood. They weren't blood related, yet Ryan was the closest to her. She knew everything about Ryan, her work life, her personal life, her strength or weaknesses, everything. Van wiped her tears and cleared her throat, picking up the call. Hello, she spoke, trying to sound normal. Have you been crying? Grandma said. She always managed to find out. It was like she had a superpower. I'm good. How are you, Grandma? Van tried to convince. Don't lie. What's the matter, dear? The old lady said. But Ryan remained silent, feeling tears swell up in her eyes. Tell me what's wrong, Vianney. Won't you share it with your grandma? Not being able to keep it anymore. Ryan sobbed. When when Hannah suddenly came back, Taehyung maintained his distance. But when she met with an accident, it was as if a floodgate of emotions was open. The last 6 years were sort of wiped out in a moment. I could see the old Taehyung and Hannah. Ryan let out, her voice sad and drained out. The moment you're talking about has passed long ago, dear. If Taehyung was still living in that moment, he wouldn't have gone to Singapore with you. He could have stayed back if he wanted to, but he is with you. Kid, let go of the past. Live in this moment. Grandma's voice was calm and composed. She was the best at comforting. I want to live in the present, Grandma. I really do. But the same thoughts keep haunting me repeatedly. What if he is writing a new name just to erase the old one? What if he is doing it to repay a favor? Or simply just to show respect? Is my name worthy enough to be said along with his in the same breath? Vian sniffled. She was feeling vulnerable. Grandma, I am a very ordinary woman. Do I really deserve him? He's been extremely wealthy and I can't give him that type of luxury. Yes, I supported him, but not as a favor. If he's with me just to repay a favor, then I don't want it. Grandma sighed. My dear, you're not ordinary. Money doesn't make anyone extraordinary. Besides, you have given Taehyung something that money can never buy. That is peace, respect, kindness. And even if you are ordinary, I don't see it as a problem because it's normal to love extraordinary, but it's extraordinary to love the normal. Ryan was about to say something when she heard Subin's voice. Grandma, I'll talk to you later, she said and hung up. The whole day went by and the Kim family enjoyed wandering around the place. They had different foods, visited different places, and made sure to enjoy it to the fullest. Taehyung kept making efforts to get closer to Ryan, but she was so much into her thoughts that it went unnoticed. Finally, at night, Ryan was sitting in a nearby garden alone. Taehyung, who was worried sick, came to her. Ryan, you could have told me before leaving the room. You know how worried I got? She looked up to see him standing, a concerned look on his face. Uh, oh, you were sleeping and I didn't want to disturb you. Then you could have woke me up. In this way, we can also spend some quality time together. He shrugged, walking closer. Vian, in the back of her mind, thought, he's trying so hard, but this relationship was easy. No one had to put in efforts. Taehyung lightly placed a hand on her shoulders. What are you thinking about? It's it's nothing, Taehyung. She smiled at him, but he was not convinced at all. Vian, you often say that it's pointless to keep things inside. It's of no use to hide feelings. Whatever is on your mind, just say it. You'll feel better. Taehyung urged her, causing her to look down. Um, it's too late. We should go back to our hotel. Subin must be alone. She was cut off by Tae. No, it's better if our problems are solved right here. You'll at least feel peace when we go back. I can't bear to see you stressed, Vian. Tell me what's wrong. Vian looked away frustrated. Why are you doing this? She finally asked. Taehyung furrowed his eyebrows. What am I doing? Making efforts. When we are not like how we used to be, then why are you trying to make our relationship seem like before? She sighed, gulping down a lump that formed in her throat before saying, it's our vacation time, right? Let's focus on that. Why are you worrying about me? Because you are my wife. Only on papers. And finally let out her biggest insecurity. She continued saying, I would have led my life that way, but you made me wife a favor. Taehyung was taken aback by her words. You're doing all this because you feel that I've done a favor by supporting you all these years. And now by supporting me back, you're fulfilling your duty. She looked at his eyes but quickly gazed away, not being able to maintain eye contact. You see, as long as we were posing as a happy family, everything was fine. But now she took a deep breath, calming herself down while Taehyung listened patiently. If a relationship is good, efforts pay off. But if a relationship is genuine, then there is no need of efforts, Taehyung. At this point, Tae had a frown. He could see how much hurt she was. I noticed when Miss Hana was met with an accident, you didn't have to try. You know why? Because that relation is genuine, not this one. While looked down at her feet. Over there, I saw your love. How can I ignore it after witnessing? I know I came in between you both, and I can't stay this way. If it weren't for me, you would have been happy. You, Miss Hana, Subin, a very happy family. Taehyung looked at her in disbelief. We can't stop being formal with each other because what you and Miss Hana had, we can never have that. I am an ordinary woman. I can't give you a grand love story, she blurted out without thinking. Soon she realized what she said and tried to cover up. I'm sorry, I spoke too much. We should go back to the hotel. She started to walk away, but she was pulled back to her place by Taehyung. I don't want it, YN. I don't want a grand love story. I know that you saw me and Hannah at the church. While looked up at him surprised. Else, instead of coming to me, you wouldn't have taken Subin straight to the vehicle. You wanted to give us time and privacy, but I don't want to keep anything private from you. So listen to what she said. I know it. I know what she would have said. Then listen to what I told her. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to insult you or your love. I don't want to know what you two discussed because I won't be able to hear it. Taehyung sighed, walking up to her and pulling her in his embrace. The atmosphere felt silent, just the glow of the moon and the scent of flowers around them. I was waiting for a perfect moment to say this for so long, but now that I know every second with you is perfect, let me say, I'm not with you just to pay back a favor. I'm with you because I love you. I know it's not enough to make you believe, but I promise I'll try my best to prove my love to you. Let's start new. This new will be better than the old one. Let's overcome these insecurities together, stronger and better. Hmm? Ryan, Taehyung, and Subin. We are a family and there's no place for anyone else. Ryan looked up at him with teary eyes. Taehyung chuckled, wiping away those tears and hugging her again. Expecting a person to get stars and moons for you is a bit too much. But have you imagined a person making you his star and moon? Efforts are not giving someone a grand surprise or an expensive gift. Efforts are making them feel loved, staying by their side, noticing them in a room full of people. The truest form of love comes out when you are at your lowest. The end.